Hey everyone, Skoggle here. We're doing Ezrael and Lulu, and they're going against Graves and Taric. So you can see that so far it's 23-16 on farm. Nothing dramatic has happened. It's really kind of in the middle of the lane. We're just at level 3. So that's what's going on. Our junglers are Shaco for Ezreal and Olaf right there for the blue side, so you cannot get hit by Olaf's axe is really the big deal. So since you did not have Lulu, you can't stay and fight really. Didn't have much choice. Lulu's coming back soon, but she's gone now. You have pink wards. That's what the eye thing means when you look at the icon in both your forward bush and in their tri-brush. You just don't have vision coming through the lane. Now you don't have vision that way, so you do have vision for a lane gank, and you have vision into that brush if Taric's trying to play forward. You do not have vision from where it currently is. But that's what happened, was you had the disconnect, and so you just got to try to play what you can. And here comes Shaco on a gank, and it caught Taric playing extremely far forward. Taric was trying to get the stun down, and Ezreal picks up the kill for it. So that's going to put Ezreal a little bit ahead. I think that Taric got baited probably by the disconnect. So Shaco is a very good ganker. Could pull off a really cool stuff like that. The stealth jump will get you in position even on a well-warded lane. So that puts Ezreal up 11 CS. And a kill, so it gets the BF sword. When you get the kill and you get the big chunk of gold, you want to get your big item. It's easier to buy pieces when you can buy pieces, and the big chunk item when you can. You don't always have a big chunk of change. So, kind of my rule of thumb when I AD carry. It's not always the way to go, but it's how we're going to do it right now. So, or how a lot of people do it. It's what I do. It's what you should think about doing, because it's not always easy. So Taric took a ton of free damage there, and Ezreal was able to not take damage back and do quite a bit of damage to Taric and some to Graves. So here you just want to stay as aggressive and get as much poke down as you can, and then they're just able to shove. You do have to worry about the burst damage that comes out of Graves and Taric, but as far as poke goes, you probably have quite a bit of a poke advantage on Ezreal and Lulu. Lulu has a decent amount of poke, and then you have the shield, and at 6 you have the full-on engage, the pop-up, and the shield. That's a really big shield from Lulu. So your all-in potential is probably bigger. The burst is probably bigger off of the other team, and their tankiness is quite big off that set. But if you can poke them down, you'll win a lot. And there, that's just going to be a great gank. Just no vision in the river, gets you out of position. But they're going to dive pretty hard, and since they have TF on their team, TF's going to come in, or Rumble's going to come in, not TF, and try to clean up a little bit here. Rumble's going to come clean up these kills by ganking, and it's going to turn out okay, so Ezreal's going to get some kills back for his team. Looking at the score, gets the Vamp Scepter, and is pretty even in the lane, so they're able to push and win the poke wars is how they're getting ahead in the lane. So this laning phase will end pretty soon. Graves Taric has the ability to be really tanky in the lane and usually will out-sustain you, but you'll have the poke advantage if you can play it right with Lulu Ezreal. And right now Ezreal definitely has an advantage. If you have the level up, you should just push against them and take advantage of what you have, because they can't really all in when you're 6 and they're not. So, and they have the full vision wards at Dragon and in the Tri-Brush, so you know you have the vision advantage, and that will stop Olaf from coming in and surprising you a third time. So right now what you gotta be aware of is just if Olaf can get in, but he shouldn't be able to with how it's warded now, and also the race are warded, so there should be almost no way he could come in. You just want to keep the lane pushing and aggressively going after what you can. Make it hard for him to last hit and get the tower down when you can. At this point you're winning, so you might as well go for it. They shouldn't be able to all in you with Lulu does not have his ultimate, so maybe they can. Just be careful until Lulu hits it, but Rumble's coming around for the gank, and if you can land your ult, which he still didn't, but they can still get Rumble's ult, and that should be enough to get the kill. As long as you follow him in, then it should be enough, and there you go. If at that point Rumble was big enough, as long as you follow up his damage, he won't die before you can get the kills. And so now it's 72 to 62 CS. Zed came in and just took out Rumble, which was good of Zed to follow it up. Even though they had it warded, he could have possibly left if he would have just not stopped and left in the brush. He should have just kept running. So if you do that and you haven't warded, just leave. And that was the end of the laning phase. Hope you learned something about it. Just take advantage of your poke in that lane if you're Ezrael and Lulu.